Hello, Mr. Brown!
Are y'all ready for part 2? This is the second part of this video, this series on the podcast about parenting choices. Again, parenting by choice and not by chance. And the 3 tips I want to talk about parenting is eat, read, and show up. Eat, read, and show up. So last time we talked about eating together as a family, how important it is to eat meals with your kids, to take that time to let them talk to you about nothing and everything at the same time. And they will, and if you make it a routine, it's something they can get used to. And it's not necessarily about having some earth-shattering conversations that may or may not happen, but it's about your presence. And I didn't say this last time, your availability. And you're available to hear, listen to your kids over a meal. I think it's important. So check that video out on our last podcast. Today, I want to talk about the second one of those 3 things. That is read. Reading to your kids. Our kids are 4 and 8. And we started reading to them very early in life when Sophia was much younger, even before she could even understand. And Evan's not reading yet, but he loves for us to read to him. And let me just be honest with you guys. When I found out I was having a son, I have an older daughter, she's 26. I have Sophia, she's 8. When we found out that we're having a son, I was kind of, man, what do I do with a boy? Like, I know how to hug a girl, snuggle a girl, Do you snuggle with boys? What do you do? And it has so turned out that he is such a snuggler. For years, he would say at nighttime, go to bed, Daddy, in the morning, can we snuggle? And we kind of created this family routine in the mornings. If I'm at home and I'm playing basketball, we wake up, my wife still asleep, me and the kids go in the living room, and we get my big blanket that my wife made for me, and we sit there and snuggle. So he got used to that and loves that. But he also loves to snuggle while we read to him. He'd get his blankie, and we read to him. And even with Sophia, before everyone was around, we followed the Daniel Tiger method. If you haven't seen Daniel Tiger and you got young kids, check Daniel Tiger out. When I first heard about Daniel Tiger or saw a video of it, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a spoof, one of those videos making fun of something. And I thought they were making fun of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood because it's Daniel Tiger from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but made a whole cartoon. Daniel Tiger Neighborhood, check it out. It's by PBS. PBS, not PBIS. That's something else. By PBS, it's really good. But they have all kind of songs. And the truth is, Daniel Tiger is like a musical cartoon. Like, I'm not big on musicals because musicals bother me sometimes. I'm getting a plot line, I'm watching, and they just break out singing. Out of nowhere. Why y'all singing? And then I have to listen to the whole song before I get to the next part of the thing, and it bothered me. Especially High School Musical. That broke that one. Look, if you like High School Musical, that's on you. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for you. Great that you like it. But it bothered me when a scene they were doing something and the basketball players, first of all, they weren't really playing basketball, it looked really bad. But then they just bust out a song singing to each other. Basketball players singing to each other. Anyway, that's my experience. But now that I think about it, Daniel Tiger, they sing a lot of songs. It's kind of like a musical, but I'm okay with it because it taught my daughter several things and even my son. And my favorite is, when you have to go potty, stop and go right away. Flush and wash and be on your way. That one's the bomb because that saved us on diaper money, you know what I'm saying? But another one we did with Sophia especially was brush teeth, PJs, story and a song, and off to bed. Woo, that was fun. Brush teeth, got the PJs, read her story, song, and off to bed, right? And the story part was fun, so we started reading to her every day, every night. And now that our life is kind of busy, we may not read every night, but we get it done more often than not. And the kids start looking forward to it. Right now we're reading this little book. It's kind of a devotional book, and there's always a word scramble at the end. And Sophia looks forward to the word scramble, try to cover it up because the answer's upside down, and she can read upside down. But I think it's so important to read to them. I think that's more time with your kids. And not only that, it impresses on them the importance of reading. To the point now where Sophia reads every night in bed, and Evan wants a book, even though he can't really read yet, but he's getting in the habit of looking at words and learning words and reading and the importance of reading. And it's funny because I didn't grow up as a reader. I didn't grow up reading a lot, and my motto was, why would I read the book? They're going to make a movie. I'll just watch the movie, right? And that's not a good motto. I really wish I would have became a reader as a kid. Because now I don't read as much. I listen, I love to learn, and I do read, but I want my kids to be readers and to be able to grab that information quickly. And so it's been really great for us as a family to read different things together, different books, Dr. Seuss, and Sophia's now reading chapter books. And so it's just a great time to just stop and read. Matter of fact, it reminds me of something we did as kids in elementary school. They did something called DEAR. 5 minutes before the bell rung, every day we did something called DEAR, and it stood for Drop Everything and Read. Drop everything and read. So we just dropped everything we're doing, and we had to read for the 5 minutes remaining in the whole day. Maybe you can do that at night. Drop everything and read. Stop doing whatever you're doing before bedtime or some other time and just read. Read together. And I like it because we're learning something together. We're hearing together. And now, again, that Sophia's reading, she will read some sentences too. And Evan wants to get in. So I'll say the words. He'll repeat the words. I think it's powerful. And I haven't read any research on reading to your kids, but I hear commercials all the time. And Head Start talks about the power of reading to your kids, even before they can even, read themselves or even talk. It's important to read to your kids. Check out some research on your own and see. But I would even say more than research, try in your own home. You got young kids, read to them. And again, it's not about being perfect, but I think if you make it a rhythm for you and your family, I think it's something you can pull off. And let me just say this. I think it's, and this, please don't take this the wrong way. Anybody, don't take it the wrong way. I think it's real powerful for men to read to their kids too. I'm not taking anything against women. If you're a single parent mom, you got your kids yourself, I'm not trying to say anything negatively. What I'm saying is, I think it's very powerful for men to take that time to read to their kids as well. So if you're sharing custody of your kids, fathers, take time to read to your kids too. It's not just something moms should do. It's something I think families should do as well. And as a father, I take a lot of joy in leading in the reading. And sometimes we'll even do this. We'll read a book and we're reading different character voices. So I'll be a character, and sometimes I try to put my character voices on, which aren't always the greatest, but they're at least funny. I don't mind if my kids laugh at me or with me, but they laugh. But we do different voices, different parts. It can be a fun time. So embrace it, try it, and hopefully it'll be something that will be good for your family. And the last thing I want to say about it, for me, it creates shared experiences. It creates those moments that we can share together. And it's not about their grades. It's not about them in trouble. It's not necessarily watching TV. It's us interacting together and even using our imagination to stay together. And also, one of the tricks I do, I said one more thing, here's two more things. One of the things I also do is make sure they're paying attention. I'll read a couple sentences and I'll ask them a question. So what was that? What did they say? What just happened? And they'll repeat it back to me. And I do that a couple of times because sometimes they like to try to do other stuff when I'm reading. But no, I want you to stay and engage. And they do. And it works really well for our family. So that's just what we do. And maybe I should have my wife share her thoughts about why we read to our kids. So maybe I'll get her, she might be sleeping right now. But what are your thoughts? What do you do? Do you read with your kids? Have you seen it change? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear from you. And I'm pretty sure other people who are listening, watching, or reading this blog, podcast, video, consuming it, whatever they're doing, would love to hear from you too. And let me say this, your voice matters. I really want to encourage you that maybe you're doing something that's kind of different. Hey, maybe you can help somebody else do something different. Please share your thoughts. Like this video, podcast, post, and share with other people to encourage them, not necessarily to be like you or be like me, but to do something themselves. And I think it's important and powerful to read to your kids. So thanks for joining us for this episode. And again, I'd love to hear from you. And never, ever, ever forget, when you make better choices, you will live a better life. So choose well and parent by choice and not by chance. And take some time to eat, read, and show up for your kids. Oh, yeah. Peace.